Hello sweet friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin and today I'm challenging myself to read the rest of my TBR in a week and I'm excited to see if I can do it. I'm also here with a reading update. So I randomly picked up One Star Romance. This was my choice for book of the month this month and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm only 60 pages into it, so I'm not that far into it. I can't really like give you guys my thoughts and the feelings, but so far I don't even like our main male character. His name is Rob. He's just kind of off-putting and not gonna lie, it kind of gave me the ick when the author described Rob. In this book, you're following Nat, who is a wannabe author, and she is devoted to her best friend, and her best friend gets engaged, and on that night of the engagement, she meets her best friend's fiance's best friend named Rob, and they kind of hit it off when they're at the bar discussing it. It's a very much non-flirty conversation. Like, it's like a real conversation, which, not that a flirty conversation isn't real, but you know when you're on dates and the conversation just doesn't feel like a real conversation? Okay. So after that, like, they have each other's numbers, but they don't really keep in contact except for here and there and like wedding stuff because they're both in the wedding. So come wedding day, they meet again, and it's been 2 years and Natalie has put out a book and she's very avidly like checking reviews, and the night before the wedding she gets a 1-star review, and from the little summary, it's from him, but I don't think she finds out it's him for a while, or maybe she does, I don't know. But I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not really like obsessed with it, but I'm not a romance reader, so it's very hard for me to read romances because I'm not a romance lover. But I don't know what I was thinking when I got this book. So there's that on that. And then I also started Jade City. I've been on a big fantasy kick for the past month and I'm loving it so far. I love getting lost in these worlds, and every time I stop reading fantasy for a while and then go back into it, I am reminded of why I love fantasy and why I think fantasy is the superior genre, because you get to escape literally into different worlds and it's very cool. But I am listening to this on audio. Spotify has the audiobook, so I started at work today and I got 79 pages into it. Mind you, I listen on 1x speed. Like, I'm not a person that speeds through my audiobooks because I love to take in the information and absorb it and listen to like the actors' voices, and sometimes they have like an ambiance going on. So I'm gonna try my best to describe what is going on in this book because I am not particularly sure. We're just getting to the point of where they're explaining like everything. So it is set in this world where you have these people called green bone warriors, and they use jade to enhance their abilities, so to be faster, stronger, stuff like that. And it was originally used to defend the island they live on from outsiders. Well, years later, it's still being used. There's actually an academy that has been built, and people go to this academy if they have a certain bloodline because they can use jade. And in this book, you're following the Call family, who's a very powerful family. Think, if you guys have seen Peaky Blinders, think of the Peaky Blinders, like that family. That's kind of like the Call family, except I think they have a little more control over the entire, no, Peaky Blinders, they have pretty much control over it. Anyways, so you're following the Call family, you're following the siblings and the cousin, and you're just kind of following them along, and they're explaining this world and all that. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the part where they're explaining jade and like what is jade, and we're following the cousin. I am really liking this, especially for someone who loves Peaky Blinders. Like, if you ask me about Peaky Blinders, I won't shut up about it. I love that show with my entire being, and to find a book that's kind of giving that vibe is so yeah, I'm loving this book. Like, I kind of want to read this physically, but I'm gonna see how I'm feeling with this, and if I'm hating it. I'm not hating it. Like, I'm gonna read it, but if I end up getting that feeling where I'm like, I'm gonna DNF it. But I really want to read this physically, but I have the audiobook and it's keeping me entertained at work, which is great. But the audiobook is like 20 hours long, so I could finish this shorter. I can finish this in a shorter amount of time. But that's what we're starting with. We're gonna see how many books we can get through this week. Let me show you the rest of my TBR. We have 2 books left on the TBR. After those 2, we have The Cruel Prince, House in the Cerulean Sea. Like I said, I'm in a big fantasy mood, so I don't know. We'll see what we get up to. I don't know if I'm gonna read all these books, but I have been a fast reader lately, and I've been reading a ton, so I don't know. But I have been yapping for way too long, so let's get to reading. I'm here with a reading update. It is the next day and I thought I would give you a little bit of a reading update. So I listened to more of Jade City at work today and I'm now a quarter of the way through. I'm on page 123, about to go into chapter 15, and I am loving this book, you guys. All I want to do is read this book, and like I said, I want to read this physically so bad, but because I have it on audio, I'm just going to continue listening to an audio so I can get like 2 books done at the same time, kind of. But not much, I mean, stuff has happened, but I can't really tell you because I don't want to give anything away. But let's just say I think we're moving towards the plot line of this book and what's about to be done and happen. So I'm really liking that. On the other hand, 1-star romance, I am on chapter 14. I'm on page 143. I would say I'm probably like a little over a quarter of the way through this book. And the thing with this book is I feel like we're not making much progress as far as the character growth. So like I said, we're following Natalie, who is a struggling writer. She's come out with a book and the book didn't do as well as she thought it would do. It got a 1-star review and it happened to be from her best friend's, Gabby's newest husband, Angus's best friend. Does that make sense? Named Rob, who is our main male love interest in this book. And he left a 1-star review. Didn't really say why until the end, how she kind of portrayed Dennis, who is the main character in her new novel, after Angus, because she's kind of butthurt about Angus. She doesn't really agree with Angus and Gabby, on and on and on. And so since then, she's just stuck on that 1-star review and she hasn't progressed much as a character. She's the same person she was 4 years ago, because in this book, it's set up in parts, like different parts, and each part you like go further and further into the years. So I think all together we're almost at 4 years we've been following Natalie, and she's still the same person she was 4 years ago. So there's not, like I said, not much character growth. And the other thing is this book is very heavily on the plot convenience. Give you two things. The first one is Angus is an odd fellow. Okay, right, we get it, he's an odd fellow. But to make him even more odd, the author wrote him to zip line into his own wedding ceremony. Can you just picture that in your mind? Your future husband zip lining to the altar? No. No. Goodbye. I'm going to be a runaway bride. If my future husband was like, I'm gonna zip line into the ceremony. No, you're not. We're not doing that. This is not a circus. We're not doing that. And of course, where does the zip line get set over? A pond. Can you guess what happens? Just take a guess. If you guessed he falls into a pond, you're exactly right. Okay? Duh. What was gonna happen? We all knew that was gonna happen when we read that part in the book, okay? And the other thing is, this wedding that they had in this book, everything that could go wrong in a wedding has gone wrong in this wedding. Why? And another thing is we're fast forwarding like a year and a half later after the wedding. Gabby wanted to celebrate Angus because he got this new promotion. So she invited everyone. Natalie got invited last minute and she was supposed to bunk with Gabby's sister, Melinda. Well, and Rob is going, and Rob and Natalie had an altercation at the wedding. They're nemesis now. They don't really like each other. And so, of course, they're going to be there together. And can you guess what happens? And to make it even more convenient, Melinda shows up with a boy. So guess what happens? Yes, Natalie and Rob have to share a room. Oh my God, shocker. I feel like the author just wrote Melinda in there for the 1-bed trope, because we don't see Melinda at all. She's like, yeah, she doesn't come out of the bedroom. And also, Rob is a very boring main male interest. Like, he is not fun. He's boring. He's a bit off-putting. Hello? And I don't know, and Natalie, like I said, is not changing much. She's actually kind of an annoying character to read from. But despite that, I'm not hating the book. I just have those qualms about it, and I don't know if I'm going to finish this or DNF it. I am flying through it, which I typically do with romance books, because they're like, you don't need brain power to read a romance book. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I just mean like you don't have to like really use your brain to like think about like the world, the plot, the magic system, political system, stuff like, you know. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm gonna go read some more. I'm hoping to finish this very soon because it is already Tuesday and I would love to have this finished tomorrow so we can move on to the next physical book. But I don't know, we'll see. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Hi guys, it is the next day. I have some reading updates for you guys. So I listened to a ton of Jade City at work today and I am now 45% of the way through it and I am loving it. so much. Like, I'm really bad at explaining fantasy books, and so I don't really know what to tell you about this book other than what I've already told you. And I love it. Like, I right now we're about to get into war. I'm pretty sure at the point of the book I am, like, stuff has happened between the other clan and them, and I think it's all leading towards a war. And I love fantasy books. So I really love this book. If you guys are looking for a great fantasy book, I mean, I obviously haven't finished it yet, so I can't tell you guys if it's great or not, but like, so far it's really good. And I'm scared that I'm gonna run out of credits because I forget how many hours you get on Spotify to listen, but I'm pretty sure it's like 16 hours or something like that. And this audiobook is 19 hours long, so I'll probably run out of it. So we'll have to switch to physically reading. But on the other end of the spectrum, I have unfortunate news, and I did DNF 1-star romance because another plot convenient thing happened. Okay, and this was like out of pocket. Okay, so basically where I'm at in the book is Rob and his new girlfriend Zuri came to a baby shower for Gabby and Angus, and they were at, not a baby shower, sorry, a christening, a baptism, I don't know. I'm not religious, so I have no idea what goes on in that. And she was there, and Angus's parents was gonna come over to meet Zuri and say hi to Rob because they haven't seen him in a while. And she goes, oh, I feel something in my teeth. I gotta go out to my car. I gotta go out to the car and get floss. Fucking weird. After they've been at the party for a little bit, okay, weird. And I said, oh, I already know where this is going, because the next thing Rob has a thought like, oh my god, I have to get out of the car because the floss is in the toiletry bag, which is next to the engagement ring. Duh. And of course she finds it. So like, I was just at that point, I was like, I am freaking done with this book. There's just too many plot convenient things for this book. Like, out of pocket things that shouldn't even be happening. Like, don't make sense to the story. And like, they're only there because it's convenient to the plot. Plus, our main characters are really boring. So goodbye to that book. I am cheating because Catherine Sinner's newest book just came through my library. It came out yesterday. This never happens to me. I never get new releases from my library as soon as they come out. And when it came through on my Libby app, I was like, so I'm gonna read that instead of the other two books. I'm so sorry. Sorry, but I really want to read my Kindle because I just want to read on my Kindle. So hopefully I can finish this pretty soon and then pick up another book for this vlog. I don't know, we'll see. But I do have book mail that I wanted to show you really quickly. Has nothing to do with this vlog, but I just figured it'd be fun because I went to my mailbox. I never go to my mailbox, by the way. And I had 2 books in there, which didn't even request them, but thank you so much if you sent me the books. So the first one I have is Christina Lauren's newest release. Okay, like a hot ticketed item I get. What? So this is Tangled Up in You, and that's all I know about it. I don't know really much about this book. I haven't really kept up with Christina Lauren and their books in a while. I think the last book I read from Christina Lauren was Love and Other Words by them, I think. And that was the last like Christina Lauren book I read. So I haven't really kept up with them, but I'm curious to see if I like this or not. And the other one is One Last Summer by Kate Spencer and Annabelle Monaghan, who is the author of New Argos Off Script and something else. I think there was another book I read by her last summer, and I absolutely loved it. And she blurbed it and said emotional, steamy, and utterly romantic. And I'm just here for it. It looks like it's gonna be like lake vibes, just by the look of it. And I love like lake vibes. Like, beachy romances are fun, but like lake vibes is a different vibe because I live in the Midwest, so I can relate to a lake summer versus like a beach summer because I don't have a beach near me. So yeah, that's really exciting book mail. So thank you so much to the companies that sent me these books because I'm so happy. And I'll definitely get to these guys soon. Maybe these will be like July reads. This would be fun. But I am about to sit down and start Catherine Sinner's newest book with my protein brownie, and I will update you guys tomorrow on this book. Hi friends, I promise I'm wearing a top. I'm about to go to the pool, which is why I look the way I look, but I wanted to quickly update you guys before I went and read anymore. So I didn't talk to you guys yesterday because, not gonna lie, my allergies were kicking my butt yesterday, so didn't really feel like talking to you guys, but I made progress and I am now on chapter 43 of Jade City. I have 4 hours left of the audiobook, but I don't know how true that is because I have less than 100 pages left. So, and then with the rom-commers by Katherine Sinner, I've made quite a bit of progress. I am now 70% of the way through this book and I am liking it. So you're following this girl named Emma who has dedicated her life to taking care of her sick father and her younger sister. And she made a deal that like first 10 years she'll take care of the father and next 10 years it's her little sister's turn. With that, her ex-boyfriend who happens to be her manager calls her up and says, hey, I've got this amazing deal for you. Like you get to write with this guy named Charlie who is her like end all be all favorite like screenplay writer. And she's like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, well, you're gonna be a ghostwriter, blah, blah, blah. And so she goes. When she arrives there, Charlie had no idea about this. He said, no, I don't want anything to do with this. And she like, you know, of course gets like hurt because who wouldn't be? He called her like, everybody called her. He didn't call her something nice. And so somehow they end up making a deal where they work together and her and Charlie are writing a romantic comedy screenplay. He tried to write one and it was really bad and it loves rom-coms. This is like her thing. So that's why she's come in and that's why Logan, her ex-boyfriend manager, suggested like her because she is fantastic with rom-coms and like this is her jig. And so she goes and you know they spend 6 weeks writing and so I'm gonna tell you I am liking it. I don't find much chemistry between Emma and Charlie. Like I don't really know where the chemistry is supposed to come in and I don't know, it's a very quick read, but after reading like Emily Henry and Abby Jimenez, it's kind of really it's different and it's not the same, which of course it's not the same because they're not the same author, but you know, it is what it is and I am enjoying it. I'm just not in love with it and I am gonna finish it, so at least we're not DNFing. I feel like I failed this vlog, totally failed this vlog because have not finished a book yet and it's freaking Friday and this is supposed to be me finishing my TBR or seeing if I can finish my TBR and I thought for sure I could like do it. I thought, oh yeah, at least knock off 3 books. DNF the first one, haven't finished anyone yet. So, and I haven't finished the other 2 yet. So I feel like a complete failure and I'm like really wanting to delete this vlog. So I don't even know if this vlog will see the light of day. We shall see, but I'm gonna go swim and I will chat with you guys later. Hello guys, it is much later. I actually didn't end up going to the pool because I walked out there and they had the gardening people in the pool area doing stuff and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go in the pool with like men all around there. Sorry, I'm just not gonna do it. So I walked back inside and ended up cleaning and listening to Jade City, but I'm actually going to edit this vlog like while I do my rough cut and I'm gonna actually listen to the audiobook while I do my rough cut. I am on chapter 47 now. There was one part in this book yesterday when I was listening to it at work that made me like audibly gasp and I was like so yeah, I'm really liking this book. If you guys like Peaky Blinders, you would definitely like this book. Also, it is extremely hot here today in Ohio. It's supposed to be like reaching 90 and above 90 all the weekend, which is crazy here for Ohio. It's actually supposed to be like over 100 degrees starting like early next week, which, you know, love that, except for I'm at work all week and I would love it if it was that hot on my vacation so I could go by the pool all week. Manifesting that. So anyways, I'm gonna edit, listen to this a little bit, and I will see you guys in a bit. Guys, I finally finished a book. I finished The Rom-Commers by Katherine Sinner literally like 30 seconds ago and I really liked this book. I wasn't like obsessed with it, but it was good. It was cute. I got emotional during it because it deals with just parents being sick or like a death of a parent, and I love my parents dearly. They hold like a very special place in my heart, and so like anything dealing with like parents, them getting sick, like I automatically think of like my parents and like I get emotional. And that's on putting yourself in the main character's life. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I really did enjoy it and I would suggest picking it up. I have read The Bodyguard by Katherine Sinner Loved it. Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I actually DNF'd it. I couldn't get past the writing, but this was good. It was good. So right now, currently still working on Miss Jade City. And one thing I want to note about this book is I haven't really touched on is this book is heavily like we live in a man's world kind of book. Like women aren't really in power in the clans. They have just like little odd jobs to keep them occupied, or they stay home with the kids. Well, the sister is now this person in the clan called the Weatherman. It's basically the pillar's right hand man, which is like the main person of the clan, and like tells them all the info, helps them on making decisions, stuff like that. And so she's like a woman in power. And the other clan, the Mountain clan, the pillar is a woman, and she had to basically like kill her entire family to be in that position, and she did it because she wanted to be in that position. So this is definitely like, if you're a hardcore feminist, I don't know how you would get along with this book, because obviously men are in power, but the women are becoming the ones in power, which is great. But like, I know some people can get very weird about reading books that have to do with like men in power, and like they look down upon women, which I get it. So, but it's just the way this world works. So I just want to touch on that just in case if you don't really like reading books so like that. But this is a great one. This is a great book. I really love this book. So I don't know if I'm going to read any more today, because Bridgerton has been on my mind. I watched the first episode last night because I got Sonic. I was bad, and I got DoorDash. But DoorDash had a deal where it was like 60% off your first 3 orders when you buy a Dash Pass, and the Dash Pass was like half off. So I literally got food for $10, which is unheard of with DoorDash nowadays. It used to not be, but now it is. So I have a pizza in the oven. Again, unhealthy food. We're not gonna talk about it. Pizza in the oven, and I'm gonna watch Bridgerton. So I don't think I'm gonna be finishing this book tonight. Hopefully tomorrow, and I will feel very good about this vlog, because I've edited this vlog up until this point, and I feel good about it. Like, I don't know why in my brain I thought I didn't have a lot of footage, but I feel good about the footage I have. It kind of shows like a realistic way of how my brain works when it comes to reading, and like how much I really do read in a week, and just all that. So my battery's flashing at me. I'm gonna go, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is Saturday, and I just finished Jade City. I don't understand why I've been putting this book off for literally so long. My bestie Brie got this for me, and it was 2 years ago she got this for me, and it's 2 years later and I'm just now picking it up. It was so good. Oh my god, I really enjoyed myself with this book. If you're looking for more of like a political fantasy, not so much focused on like world building or like whimsical aspects of the world, just like a good fantasy that's like about family, honor, the politics that are going on. There's some like a little bit of romance, like, you know, characters have their own like little romance going on. It's just so good. It's so good, and I'm very excited to see like where this series goes. Like, I just know the last one's probably gonna make me cry. Like, I have a theory of what's gonna happen in the last one, and I'm gonna be so sad if that is true. But I'm very excited to carry on with the series, and then I found another series that I really like. The audiobook was really good. I liked the dude who was narrating it, and I really seldomly like male narrators. That's just my personal opinion, but I actually really liked this male narrator. I think he did a really good job. And yeah, I think I'm gonna give it it did give me 5-star feels, like, but it gave me like close to 5-star feels. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4-star. It was very good. And yeah, so that means we have come to the end of this video. I would say I would try to read another book in a day, but I don't think it's possible, because the only 2 books that are left on my TBR are Cool Prince and The Cerulean Sea, and both of them I just don't really want to read right now, because I'm kind of burnt out, because I've just like finished 2 books back to back within the span of like 24 hours. So I'm just gonna take a little break from reading, edit this vlog. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you guys did, make sure you guys are subscribing, because I would love to have you here. Make sure you guys are being kind to yourself and others around you, and I will see you guys very soon. I love ya.